YouTube, social media world. It's your boy AnonymousBased, and I'm biggity back with a new reaction video. This time I'm here with something brand new from It's Complicated. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and give this video a like, share with a couple of your friends. Make sure you follow me on all my social media sites. And if you got something specific, go ahead and drop it in that comment section. So we are here with something brand new from It's Complicated. Shout out to you, brother. And the name of this video is called Hoeflation. Rules of Modern Dating and Understanding Women. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, man. We're going to see how crazy this is. We're going to see.
If prostitution was legal, do you think we'd have a better society?
Yes.
Why?
Because you ain't got to be worried about the police coming after you if you want to buy some pussy.
The men that come to Las Vegas and they think every woman prostitute. You know, if you're out here in your dress, you're prostitute. So they treat you like trash. They talk to you like trash. They tell you trashy stuff because automatically you're a prostitute. So absolutely not, no, it wouldn't.
I actually think it would solve a lot of society's problems. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but I do think it would be solving a lot of society's problems. It would be solving so much sex trafficking.
Septum piercings have returned. And yeah, she is kind of off a little bit.
Male trafficking, child trafficking, like so much things would actually be solved if this actually got legalized.
Personally, do I want to do it? I mean, no. But does it bring down the price? Does it bring down the value?
Yeah, it will.
Does. And it brings down the value on other women. And that's
yeah,
a problem.
It does.
You know, that's a solution.
But
like with us, it's like as men, we pay too much. We go through too much, and it's the truth.
True.
Why is porn legal and prostitution isn't?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, what's the difference between being paid for sex and being paid for sex in front of a camera?
Some way, some company can own it, own the rights, and stream it the right way, and be able to, you know.
Why is it okay for you to be a porn star, but it's not okay for you to be a prostitute? I don't get that. Honestly, I don't.
If prostitution was legal, what do you think would happen to OnlyFans?
It would go down the drain. People would, we wouldn't want to pay to see it if we could go get the real thing.
Exactly. Do you believe that lonely, sexless men are more likely to be violent, and if so, why?
Yes, because they got a lot of pressure built up.
Them the most calmest ones. They sitting in the crib, playing their video games, beating their meat, eating their Cheetos, you know, just kicking it, being fat, cool guys at the crib, you know. I'm just saying, I can't judge nobody, you feel me? Because, hey, I probably was that at one time, you know?
Yeah.
So if prostitution was cheap and accessible, do you think there would be less sexual violence?
Yes.
If so, would you be in support of making that possible despite the fact that it objectifies women?
No.
Why?
Because.
Stop the cap.
Don't you want to live in a safer society?
Yeah. But I wouldn't do it, but I mean, everybody can do anything.
Come on,
I'm not
bro.
saying you have to do it, but I'm just saying, why wouldn't you just support it being an option?
I can't believe this pooping technique worked.
This is the quickest way to clear out stuck poop.
To have the best poop of your life, you don't need fiber. Here's how people actually are having the best poops of their lives. It's called the 7-second poop method. It was created by Dr. Gina Sam, a top New York City gut doctor. Over 1 million people have used this to flush out their bowels. It's gonna get things moving again, and you could even feel 10 to 15 pounds lighter. Tap the button right now to see Dr. Sam's 7-second poop method.
Huh. I mean, that's like the first ad I actually watched on here where I didn't skip it and I actually wanted to.
Survival of the fittest, my guy. You want respect in here, you gotta get ripped.
Option for men.
Most women don't like being considered prostitutes, so I think the labels kind of turn women off.
You have a lot of tension built up that you need to release sexually, you know, and if you don't have a partner for that, or at least access to, you know, some kind of open sexual relationship you can get into, then you're going to be probably more hostile and on edge, I believe.
So if prostitution was cheap and accessible, do you think there would be less sexual violence?
I do. Less sexual violence? Absolutely, 100%.
If so, would you be in support of making that possible despite the fact that it objectifies women?
I think that even if it was legal, it would still be their choice, so I don't think it objectifies women.
Hoeflation is a term which describes the increase in price men have to pay for lower value women. Men have more competition than ever, women have more options than ever. In essence, dating has now become a luxury commodity, and the only option is for men to step their game up. Why should men be expected to bring more to the table than they ever have in order to please women who bring less to the table than they ever have?
Yep.
Because that's just how it is. I don't know. Men are supposed to be providers. If they have to bring more to the table, it's just because that's the society we live in today. Things cost more nowadays.
And how's that working out for us?
Barely.
Why should men be expected to bring more to the table than they ever have in order to please women who bring less to the table than they ever have?
We shouldn't have to. I think women need to start lowering their standards and men need to start raising their standards. Or we're just going to be sitting there. It's going to be a horrible society.
Yep.
If most men are average and women's standards are delusional, why isn't prostitution a more practical solution than telling men to all become high value?
Well, I mean, I think that is what, like, if you're a low-value man and that's what you got to do, then yeah, I would, then, you know, resort to prostitution. But I feel like every man personally, you should work on yourself, you know, value yourself first, and then, you know, once you start chasing yourself, the women are going to chase you.
Exactly.
If legalizing prostitution would be a game changer, why is it never talked about on any of these podcasts?
We talking about it now.
It's like everybody like it, but ain't nobody gonna talk about it.
Because they look at prostitutes as disgusting, horrible women, and they think of us as the very bare minimum. If you're a prostitute, you don't have nothing to offer.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe people just scared of the subject. They probably not ready for it yet.
Could it be because they're pushing their own conservative agenda?
Yes.
These guys, they push their conservatism agenda so much. Like Andrew Tate, for instance, you know, I mean, he pushes that shit. He pushes it all the way. And when you do it all the way, you kind of got to, you know, disagree with prostitution being illegal because that's a libertarian, that's a liberal thing.
Right. Do you think the solution could be prostitution, the world's oldest institution?
I think that you should have the right to do with what you want with your body, whether that's prostitution, you know, abortion, whatever it is. I think that, you know, to a certain extent, you should have, as long as it doesn't harm other human beings, then you should have rights to do whatever you want with your body.
Why is my body, my choice acceptable when it comes to abortion, but not when it comes to prostitution, the draft, or vaccine mandates?
Control, man. Just control. You know, I'm not like a conspiracy theorist or anything, but, you know, like, there's a deeper purpose behind things. You know, they try to get us to fall in line, you know, at least to some extent, if it's going to line their pockets. And if it's not lining their agenda and it's not lining their pockets, then they're not going to back it, you know. And eventually, one day when they can figure out a way for it to line their pockets, you know, it will be legal, you know, and they'll all act like they never were against it.
Wouldn't it end simping and shift the sexual marketplace to where women would have to compete for the men?
Yes, it would actually. It would very much so, because it would make it more accessible for men to get what they need.
I don't know if it would end simping, but it would shift the marketplace.
You know, in some areas when you got like a lot of prostitutes on the corner, they kind of be, you know, in competition for the next, you know, the next big baller and all of that. So it's already kind of women in competition.
Why should men pay for the opportunity to maybe get sex instead of just paying for sex?
Why not just pay for the sex? Why get a maybe?
If you really love this woman, if you really like this woman, this is really what you want, I think you should, you know, put the money into it and put the time into it. However, if it's just meaningless sex, or if it's just, you know, a conversation and it leads to sex, and whatever, you end up buying drinks and shit, I mean, it ain't worth it.
Wouldn't relationships be built on love rather than sex and manipulation?
Yes, relationships should be built on love and respect. 100%.
It revolves around manipulation. We read books. Men read books. Neil Strauss. You know, all these books about game, in the sense that we're trying to gain game and manipulate women to have sex, when in reality, we don't even want the love. We just want the sex. But it results in women falling in love because we're giving them the illusion of love. And then when we do that, you know, we don't really want love. And then when women really want love, all we have is sex for them. So it's kind of, you know, it's kind of like a backwards game. It's crazy.
Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Yeah, actually, it would limit so much emotional and actual physical abuse.
If you're depending on sex to make you feel better, or another person or anything, then that just shows
Yeah,
that
you
know,
already
you're
lost.
not working on your spirit.
Yeah, you already lost, bro.
Wouldn't men be less pitted against each other to compete for women?
Yes, there is so much war between men trying to get the same girl. It's insane.
The competition, like I said, it'll equal out the playing field. You know what I mean? So like we have the 1% and we have us. I'm not 1%. I'm not a multi-millionaire in the bank. I work on things and I do work hard, and I'm probably more than the average man. But you know what? Like it would equal out the playing field. It would make it fair for all of us to play the same game.
Wouldn't it flood the market and drive down prices?
Yeah, actually, it would. It would. It would eliminate so much stuff like the black market.
Hoeflation, right? Hoeflation. So Hoeflation, you know, it would bring down the price. Supply and demand. It's a simple economics, you know, idea. So, yeah, of course.
We have the black market, sex trafficking, all genders, all ages now. Like, it's actually even scarier now. Before, it was safer. You had security guards. You had people protecting you. You had people making sure everything was going about the right way and the safe way.
Can you think of any reasons not to legalize it?
Really, no, I can't.
I think it's a drug. And I think the more you do the drug, the more you're going to be to it, the more you're going to be okay with it. And it creates a problem in certain people. If you have like an addictive personality or whatever, like you're going to keep doing it. And, you know, it might be a problem with your wife. You know, if you're having sex with hookers and you have a wife, I think that's a problem. Don't do that to your wife, bro.
Okay, if that's the case, then why do so many women push men to try to be monogamous, and then when they get into that monogamous relationship, they take the sex away as a way to control the man? Because let's keep it real. Women are always not going to always want to do it whenever the man wants to. So then when he gets that urge, what is he supposed to do? And that's the part that no one wants to talk about.
What are your thoughts on the expression, every man pays for sex?
I agree.
You're going on a date and you have to spend your money for her to like you more. Some people don't do that. I got guys that don't do nothing for no females. Nothing. You hear me? And they still giving that cat up.
Well, we all pay for sex. And if it's not money, it's investment. Or you know what it is? It's me working as hard as I can to be able to provide for a woman. You know, just to be able to be the best person I can be so she can keep around, you know, stay with me. Or be able to like not run away with my kids and be like, hey, this is a good man, I can stay with him. And if it's not, you know, paying for it, like, you know, with actual, like, hey, me swiping a card, it's me working in the gym, it's me working 2 jobs, it's me working 3 jobs, it's me working my ass off just so I can, you know, maintain a family.
Every woman pays for sex in a way too. You could that expression could go both ways. Whether it's not money, it could not be money, but you know, I mean, at the end of the day, when they go to bed and at night and they slept with 10 men this week, you know, it's like it's a lot more degrading for them. They probably feel that a lot more than I would if I banged 10 chicks this week. That's just being honest, you know.
Yeah.
Is it generally true that men seek the hottest woman they can afford, while women seek the richest man they can attract?
Yes.
Don't men want trophy wives and women want sugar daddies?
Yes.
So how is dating not already just a loose form of prostitution?
It is a loose form of prostitution.
So then why would we not just legalize it?
Here we go.
Got a good point.
Here we go.
It's a loose form of prostitution. Gotcha, bitch! Maybe it is actually.
Oh man,
goddamn!
Gotcha, bitch! Why is it often said that prostitution is the world's oldest profession?
Because women been exchanging sex for goods since the beginning of time.
Because it is actually. It used to be legalized. It used to be okay. It's actually, I'm pretty sure, okay in some other states and countries.
I'm not big in the Bible, but, you know, I'm not very religious. But the Bible was what I grew up on, and they told me that was the first job ever created. Because men have a need. And when they have a need, they'll pay for it. So if there's one need that we all have, we fight wars for, we work jobs for, it's for sex, to be real.
Yeah.
Or maybe resources.
Nah, man, it'd be sex.
Resources to get sex.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you make money to get sex, bro. Like, that's how it goes. You fight wars, you do these things to get sex. And, you know, pussy is the most important thing to a man. And I'm going to be real with you. It might be your kids, but at the end of the day, you wouldn't have no kids if it wasn't for that one thing.
There you go.
If men have always been in power, why would a man make the law that prostitution should be illegal?
I don't know. Maybe they were manipulated by a woman. Maybe they were told that it was wrong. But if you really think about it and you really think about the points and the keys here, is it really wrong?
If men have always been in power, why would a man make the law that prostitution should be illegal?
Well, I feel like men want to make other men weaker to make things easier for them.
Why is my body, my choice acceptable when it comes to abortion, but not when it comes to prostitution, the draft, or vaccine mandates?
Because society has deemed women in control, and it seems like they're making these rules up as they go.
All right. Okay, man. Shout out to It's Complicated for coming through with the fire video called Hoeflation. Okay, so first impressions of me watching this for the first time. This one was definitely thought-provoking. This one was definitely good because I didn't really have to use my stop the cap button too much.
Stop the cap.
I didn't really have to use that button that much because a lot of the points and the responses that were made, it was really good. It was a really good back and forth. It was a very powerful and enlightening discourse. And these are the types of conversations that we need to be having in society to figure out how to approach a happy medium between men and women when it comes to the relationship dynamics of what we want versus what we desire and the things that we need in order to build stronger unions and continue to thrive more. So this was definitely great. I mean, again, I say this all the time. I have yet to see It's Complicated miss on these topics, man. I have yet to see him get defeated in a debate or have his argument dismantled. So, again, continue doing your thing. Continue making this fire content. Continue getting out here, having these random interviews with these random people to get real live thoughts, real live feedback, and real live conversations in real time. So one more shout out to It's Complicated. And that is pretty much my reaction. So if you like the video, go ahead and give this video a like. Share with a couple of your friends. Make sure you follow me on all my social media sites. And if you got something specific, go ahead and drop it in that comment section, man. It's your boy AnonymousBased. Peace.